Good evening, Clarence.
Do we have a quorum?
No, just me and you, it look like.
Okay.
The email that Norma put out said maybe Roosevelt couldn't get on because they don't have power.
Correct. I talked with him on it.
All right, so is he coming on?
No, because he's not able to come through because of the power outage at his house. And he can't get through on his email.
So who's gonna share the meeting? Share the meeting?
You chairing the meeting.
I'm gonna be chairing the meeting.
Okay, you got a lot of feedback. Maybe you need to turn something down.
I think she has two.
Vern, I muted you, just because I think the feedback was coming from your screen.
Okay. We toned that down.
I don't know.
You talked to Norma?
Yeah.
You talked to Noli?
Norma talked to Norma.
So what about Mac?
I haven't heard from him. In fact, I don't even have his number.
City clerk had someone call us yesterday. So I'm just wondering, did the clerk get hold to MacArthur?
Now, that I don't know.
There she is right
Oh.
there. Tell her unmute. She's got to unmute.
She's got down on mute.
Clerk,
If someone could dismiss Verna Chapman out. I'm in
Okay.
double. I don't know how that happened.
Ms. Chapman, we were wondering, did you get hold to Mac?
Well, I had my assistant make the calls and was
I know.
able.
I know she called, but we're wondering did he respond or what? So we'll know we're gonna have a quorum or not.
I had my assistant call. And I don't think she got a hold of the Mac.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, which account did you want to use? Clerk or Verna Chapman?
I want to use clerk.
Whose name is that right there? That says, who's that?
I don't know, Vernon Chapman.
Okay.
And no. Let's see, the one of them on there.
We got Noli, we got Norma and Noli on.
Oh, so they on?
So how many is five a
It
quorum?
looked like, yeah.
How many is a quorum? Ask them. You asked how many is a quorum?
How many is a quorum?
Look like we have a quorum.
There's no-
4, yep.
Norma.
Four.
So we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Okay, since you have a quorum.
Okay, since I have a quorum, it's right at 6 p.m.
Six.
I would like to call the order of the Board of Zoning and Appeals. May I have the roll call, please?
Verna, I think you're still muted.
Not you. She's muted.
Let's see. Does she realize yet?
Can you hear me?
Verna, can you
We can hear you.
hear
Noli.
us?
You can hear me? Okay.
We can't hear the clerk.
No, we
Maybe
can't.
she needs to
Yeah.
go back to Verna Chapman so we can get this on.
We need to get Norma back too.
No, she just.
The planner does the roll call.
But
I'm trying to permit Vernon Chapman the other profile in, and we can just work from there.
Okay.
You want to run through the roll call?
Still don't have everybody.
You can't see everybody.
I'm talking about here. They're not on.
Chairman Stubbs,
3, 4, and you were 5. Right.
absent.
Yeah.
Norma McDaniels,
Present.
Ruth Wilson,
my last name is Williams.
Williams,
My last name is Williams.
Clarence Oden,
Present.
Mac Willis,
What about Vanilla?
Mac,
I don't think Mac Willis is on. Oh, yeah, he is there.
well, I'm gonna mark him as present. I think he might have some technical difficulties. And then Vanola Williams,
Present.
thank you.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Present. Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Hello?
Very good.
So you have a quorum.
Okay, we have a quorum. Can I have the roll call,
No,
please?
you just did that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been
Support.
properly moved and supported, and second, to adopt the agenda as presented. Are there any additions or corrections? All in favor, vote aye.
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 Excuse me, I believe
Those
the clerk is
opposed,
trying to say
vote nay.
something.
Pardon? Go ahead.
Go ahead and finish yours. All opposed.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes of September the 2nd, 2021. May I have a motion to adopt minutes of September the 2nd,
I
2021?
make a motion to adopt the minutes with the corrections.
I will make those corrections.
Second.
I have some corrections.
Go ahead.
I have some corrections.
Ms. McDaniel, go ahead.
On the first page, where it says a roll call members present, my name is Norma McDaniel without the S. Ruth Wilson is Williams, and Verona Williams is Vanola Williams for members absent. So all the way through the minutes, our name should be correct.
Yep, we will correct the amendments.
Okay, on the second page, public comment, it says Sheila Oden. Under public comment, it should be Delphine Oden.
Where?
I don't know.
Under public comment, it says
Yep.
Sheila Oden, it should be Delphine Oden.
Okay,
And everywhere in the rest of the minutes, it says Oden, D-I-N, it should be O-D-E-N.
thank you.
So I would like to have the corrected minutes resent out to the members, to the commission.
Yeah, we did.
We will do that.
So, the minutes of the,
Okay, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay. I have no idea what happened, but I'm here now. If I could start some, I think I had 2 Zoom meetings open. So I'll continue with the roll call.
the minutes.
Roll call is
We've already-
completed.
We've already completed the roll call and we've gone through and adopted the minutes with
Got a
corrections.
lot of noise in her.
We have, no,
I'm sorry.
we have
to
not,
vote.
we have not voted on the minutes.
Right.
We made the corrections, but we need to vote on the minutes with the
Okay.
necessary corrections.
The motion.
Who seconded the motion?
I believe Mac Willis.
Oh, Mac Willis.
Okay.
Okay,
The, vote on the minutes.
vote on the minutes, please.
All those.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye with the necessary corrections.
Right, okay, all opposed,
All opposed?
motion.
Motion carried. Where are we?
Read open fair, we don't, at the bottom.
We do not have a public hearing scheduled for this meeting. Therefore, the next item on the agenda is old business.
Clarence, you'll need to read that
He's gonna
item into the record.
Go ahead and read it.
What?
That case number.
Case number 21-12, Marijuana Cultivating and Processing Center. Zoning Board of Appeals to review and consider approval, variance, separation standard for the proposed marijuana cultivating and processing center in the M1 Light Industrial District at 2830 Beach Daily Road. Anthony Zakra is the applicant. What's your pleasure?
Mr. Chair, I have some questions, Mr. Chair.
Go right ahead.
So do I, Mr. Chair.
So do I, Mr. Chair.
Okay, who wants to go first?
The normal thing.
Me, I'll go.
Okay, I'll allow you to go first, Ruthie, no problem.
My question is, it was never answered from the last meeting that we had. Did this go before planning before it came before us?
No, it has not. It's going to planning actually on Monday for site plan approval. There isn't an order that it has to go.
I
The ZBA
understand they always go to planning and then come to it.
We
There-
the appeals board, we appeal whatever decision if planning denies. So if it hasn't gone to planning, it shouldn't have come to ZBA for an approval because we're an appeal approval. We appeal.
Correct. We're not asking for an appeal, we're asking for a variance. Those are two separate things.
But planning has to deny the variance in order for the zoning board to appeal it.
That they're separate. The planning commission has no jurisdiction over variances. So it can go either way. We can do the preliminary site plan approval first, or we can do the variance first. The way that it worked out and in talking with the applicant and talking with our team and we wanted to try to come before the zoning board of appeals for the variance first, because that has a pretty significant impact on what the applicant is going to do with their site plan to bring before the planning commission.
Well, doesn't the planning commission have to approve the site plan first before they even ask for a variance? Why would they need a variance and their site plan hasn't been approved? What's the use of asking for a variance if the planning commission has not approved the site plan?
Because the planning commission can approve the site plan, but it's noted in their preliminary approval that their approval is dependent on the zoning board of appeals granting or denial of the variance. So again, the planning commission has no jurisdiction over variances, and there is no legal standing for one happening before the other. There's nothing in the ordinance. There's nothing for the state of Michigan. We can do it either way. And that was just the preference of our team and the applicant to try to go to ZBA first.
See, I got another question, Norma.
Okay,
The last meeting that we had some residents that said they didn't receive anything on the notice of this. So we had a few people online last time asking questions.
The resident that was on last time actually said they did receive notice. They received 2 notices. They received them in the mail. So for the public hearing that happened at the last meeting, that was noticed in the paper, as well as mailing any residents and property owner 300 feet from the property. So we get those records from the assessor at City Hall, and we take their records that they give to us, and I personally do the mailings. And that's for any public hearing. So because tonight didn't have a public hearing, there was no notice for tonight's meeting, but there was the notice for the last meeting, which included the public hearing.
The last meeting, Norma, did you ask for a copy of that mailing?
Yes, I did.
I thought so.
Okay, are you done, Ruthie?
Yeah.
Norma, did you receive a copy of that mailing?
No, I did not.
Recognize me.
I have a couple questions. Is the applicant the same person as the owner of the current building that occupies the building?
There's actually multiple applicants. We just listed the one on the ZB or on the review as the person, like one of the applicants. There's actually multiple of them, and there's different financial interests. So there's a whole team of people working for this LLC.
Okay, so is one of the people that's listed the owner of the building that's the owner of the building that's being occupied? Is one of the people?
Yes.
Okay. One thing you said before was that the planning commission gave a preliminary approval. Is that what you said?
We're going to planning commission on Monday. And we were, as part of our review, we have noted in our site plan review that as one of the recommendations at the end, this is obviously dependent on whatever the zoning board of appeals decides to do about the variance, because obviously the site plan can't be approved by planning commission if the variance is denied, because that would make the entire plan moot. They would no longer be in compliance.
Okay, so I'm really confused as to, because this has never happened before, where
I'm confused too.
It never came to the ZBA before it was actually approved or denied by the planning commission. And that's why it comes to us, because once it's denied, they come to us for a variance. So
it wouldn't be denied at the planning commission. The planning commission would not consider this variance. So there would be no denial.
Okay, so did they approve it? Did they approve the plan?
It has not gone to planning commission, but what the ZBA considers is just the variance. There's no consideration of the overall site plan, and planning commission has no jurisdiction over the variance. They're completely separate bodies with completely separate entities and jurisdictions. So even though the applicant has to go to both boards for approval, one does not have to happen before the other, and they are completely separate of one another.
Okay, you also said that the entities, it could go either way, and the entities decided to bring it to us first, but it could go either way. Is that correct?
Correct. And they weren't the only people that decided that. That was just in conversation that we had.
Can I finish my question? Can I finish my question?
Sure.
Okay, so you said that the entities, whoever, decided that it could go either way, but they decided to bring it to us first. But it's really no preference to go to us or to them, to planning. Is that correct?
We, along with the applicant in our conversations, this is actually pretty standard in most communities, is you would typically go to the ZBA first for a variance, because again, that sort of drives what's happening with the site plan. So that's actually, I would say, a more common way to do it is to do the variance first, the variance request, because
Okay.
then we can amend the site
We have
plan.
never,
You
we have
said it
never
could go
done that.
either way. You said it could go either way.
It
And it,
can go either way, yes.
okay, so it would be the preference of the zoning board for it to go back, to come to the planning commission first and then come to the zoning board. That's the way
I agree.
that's the way this community has always handled it.
I agree.
But the problem is there's no legal standing to ask that, unfortunately. So
So then so why is it either way then? If it's no legal standing, why is it either way?
I have no legal right to ask the applicant to do it one way or the other. So
Well,
the way that it was presented,
Who has the right then? Who has the right to ask?
the applicant can apply any way that they choose. And typically they go based on, you know, conversations with the planning department and other entities and the way timelines work out.
Okay, we have we've never done it like this before, but also we have never gotten anything in writing from the planning department stating this position. So, you know, I would like to see something in writing stating this position.
I agree.
You're free to go look at the ordinance. There's not very much language in the ordinance regarding the zoning board of appeals other than, you know, there's a right to have a zoning board of appeals, and it roughly defines what the responsibilities are, which I referenced the section somewhere in my review letter. I would have to look for it. But there isn't very much language in the ordinance about the ZBA.
So then is it a matter of interpretation?
No, because there's no language regarding the order, which means it can go in either order.
Okay, so I'm saying it is the position of the ZBA board for it to go back to the planners, to plan after the meeting on Monday. What is the meeting on Monday supposed to do with the planning commission?
Right.
They're considering preliminary site plan approval, which is completely separate, again, of this variance request. They are not approving.
Absolutely.
What we're asking.
Absolutely, they can.
Of the buffer, they cannot do that because that's the zoning board of appeals jurisdiction.
Okay, so can they approve the site plan and then come back to us for the variance?
They would approve the site plan separate from the variance. The variance.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. So can they go do the site plan and then come back to us to request the variance?
I think yes, that answer is yes. I think our
Another question, Norman.
advice would be that it's not dependent on one another, so.
I understand that.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, technically speaking, yes, they could go to the planning commission and then you could then make a decision after.
That's what the ZBA is gonna request, that it goes to the planning first.
The issue though is the planning commission, again, their approval or denial of the preliminary site plan has absolutely no bearing on this variance request because they're not considering the variance.
I understand that, but we would like.
The issue also is the applicant and the fact that they've made this application to come before the ZBA. And now we're 2 meetings in and they still don't have a decision. And there is some legal standing of them having an issue with, you know, possibly the fact that they're not being given an approval or denial, that in their minds, you know, this is stalling unnecessarily.
In our minds, we're just trying to do it the way that we're accustomed to doing it. We're not trying to stall. We're not trying to deny them. We're just saying we would like for it to go to the planning commission first, get the site plan approval, and then come to us for the variance.
I'd like to step in here for a moment.
Okay.
I'd just like to step in for a moment. For those of you who don't know, I work within the Community Development Department through retirement of 2003. Planning, building, home repairs, doing different things within the community for the improvement of the community. And I have never heard anything like what we're talking about now.
Me either.
That we are going through and talking about doing that did not go before the planning commission. And I'm telling you what I know, I'm not guessing. I retired from the city of Inkster in community development and planning. And I just want to make that point I hear what everybody is saying, but I know for a fact, having worked for the city for as long as I did,
Hey,
I don't ever recall that happening.
And that could have just been, that could have been, again, the preference of the planning department and how applications as they come in and are scheduled.
Nope.
Because the planning commission does meet more frequently than the ZBA does.
Yeah.
And so that could be a reason why plans may have gone before planning commission first. You know, this would have gone before planning commission. We had an issue with scheduling the meeting. It was supposed to happen in September. Or I'm sorry, the beginning of September, and actually I believe the end of August, and we haven't been able to get back to the planning commission until this coming Monday. But, you know, I would just again explain that
Ashley, it is our preference to have it go before the planning first.
sure, and I can certainly, you know, moving forward, try to take that into consideration with applications and
Not moving forward with this particular application. We would prefer to have it go before the planning commission and have them approve a preliminary site plan and then come.
right. Because once the planning commission goes through those plans, and if they make an approval on the site plan, then we can vote on the variance.
And I do understand what you're saying. I just want to make sure that you understand the site plan approval coming from planning commission has no bearing on this variance request and vice versa. So for instance, if you approved or denied this variance request, well, if you approved it, let's say, they could still deny the site plan, preliminary site plan approval for other unrelated reasons. They have no bearing on one another. And so,
you know, you keep saying that like we don't understand you or that we
understand that.
We understand what you're saying. We're just saying our preference is to continue to do it the way we have always done it.
Let us hear from Ms. Williams. Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Yeah, I got a question on the ordinance that the variance says 300 feet. That was put there for a reason. And we go to changing those 3 to 275 next time with 250. But I'm just saying that was put there for a reason in one area. Was it or was it not?
Yes, it was. And that is one of the things that you amongst yourselves as the ZBA members need to, you know, figure out and discuss, you know, what your interpretation and what your feelings are about this request.
Well, I got my interpretation, my feelings, so I'm good.
I have, Mr. Chair, are you accepting
Go right ahead.
from the public?
Yeah, right ahead.
If no commissioner would like to make a comment, question that I would like to ask. I understand you said there were multiple businesses that's in that facility already. What kind of business is taking place there? And will they be then changing? They will not be in business anymore, and it's going to be the marijuana cultivating and processing center? That's a question that I have.
It's my understanding there's only one business operating on site right now, and it is a metal fabrication facility.
Oh, the metal fabrication will be going out of business in order to make room for the marijuana processing and cultivating and processing center. Is that correct?
It's the same owner. So yes, technically that business would cease to exist, but it's the same owner that owns the property now. So they would just be changing business.
Is that the applicant, Mr. Zucker?
Correct.
Is he also the applicant that's going before the planning commission? I know you said there were several people, but I was wondering if someone else was going to be.
The applicant was George last time it came before us. It was George somebody. Let me see.
Yes.
Yes, there are multiple applicants that are all working under an LLC. So that everybody under this LLC, the current LLC holder is Goldwyn Logistics, and that will continue to be the property owner is Goldwyn Logistics.
Just for it just seems that the one applicant would be for both commissions. They would go before the planning commission and they would come before the zoning boarding appeals. However, you say that there's no legal standing about whether it goes before the zoning board of appeals or the planning commission. The process in the city of Inkster has been that it goes before the planning commission first. I don't think the board is stalling any, they just want to see that procedure is followed, that has been. And it seems like McKenna or you is pushing them to go ahead and approve this variance before it goes to planning. So I can understand why they are apprehensive about approving this, because the process has been planning commission, waiting to hear what they have to say, and then they would then hear whatever came to them.
From the public.
And so, and if that's the case, I would think that everything that was done before now is null and void, and that you would then have to go back and do another public hearing and send that to all of the individuals and just like start over. Thank you for your time.
Verna, did you have a comment?
I do. As a point of order, there's a request for action on the table. And we'll need a motion and second or not. But we need to resolve the request for a motion. And then there can be discussion. And then there should be a vote.
Okay. Okay, so.
Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
I have a motion. I motion that we table the decision for the variance until the planning commission has made an approval on the site plan.
Support.
It's been properly moved, supported to table
It's been properly moved and supported to table this item.
until after the planning commission.
Until after the planning commission. Yep.
After the planning commission meeting. Any questions? All in favor, let it be known by the usual sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it and so ordered.
One other point of order. Because this is a Zoom meeting, we have to take a roll call,
That's right.
a roll call vote. So,
Okay, thank you.
I call her name.
Okay,
No, she's gonna do it.
Member
Go ahead.
McDaniel,
Yes to table.
Chair, Mr. Stubbs, are you with us?
He's absent today.
Okay. And Ms. Williams,
Which one?
Ruth E.
Yes, the table.
And Finola Williams.
Yes
Oh,
to table.
Okay. And Mac Willis,
Good table.
I thought he was with us for a
He
moment.
just said it.
He is there.
He said yes?
Yes.
Okay. And Chair Odin?
yes.
Okay. You have 5 yeses. I think I did get everyone. So the motion is carried to table this item until next meeting.
No, until after the planning commission meets. And then a meeting can be scheduled.
Okay. So is it your pleasure to call for a special meeting after the planning commission meets?
Yes.
Okay. With that said, The motion was carried and the next item is new business.
Clarence, you can take over. Clarence?
There, go ahead. I'm sorry, I had it muted.
Okay. New business, Clarence.
Is there any new business? They can hear you.
Are there any new business? Any more new business? Miscellaneous?
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Been moved and supported that the meeting for the day of the Board of Zoning Appeals. It's at 6:34.
You didn't allow public comment.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
It
Are
wasn't-
there any public
it
comments?
wasn't on the
Yes,
agenda.
there is.
There was no public comment on the agenda.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
Each public meeting has to allow for public comment under the Open Meetings Act.
All right. Okay.
Right ahead.
I would like to state my name is Fred Sanford. I would like to state that City Clerk Verna Chapman should be ashamed for allowing Mayor Wembley to fire Malika Self. Secondly, Troy Seaton is Mayor Wembley's flunky.
That's
Thank you.
This is not pertaining to this meeting.
Yeah, this has nothing.
You should hold that for council meeting, not ZBA. That's not what we're
Right.
meeting with.
Exactly.
So the meeting is adjourned.
The meeting is adjourned. That's out of order.
Real out.
I want to thank everyone who attended today. Hope that we can go forward and
That's a heck.
keeping the city on track and doing what's supposed to be done. I thank everyone for being part of this meeting today.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.